Well, I had the harmonic balancer changed on this car. It's got 52,900 miles on it. It's 20 years old. And these balancers are known to fail on these cars. I don't know why, but there's a rubber piece in there. I'll show you the old one in a moment. They start to wobble. And when they really get bad, it starts to squeak. And they can work their way backwards into your oil pan, gouge your oil pan, ruin the gasket. So now you got to change your oil pan. Or it can work its way forward and go into the rack and pinion steering unit. Or fly off and go through your radiator. Go through your fan and then through your radiator. Then you're going to replace all of that and then the damper anyway. So it was wobbling a little bit. It wasn't that bad. So I had it done. This is a big job. You got to take the rack and pinion steering out. You got to take the two front tires off, separate it from the ball joints, and pull the rack out. And then there's a pulley that goes on the balancer to pull it out. Well, the three pulleys he had at the shop didn't fit. They didn't work. So my buddy had to take one of his pulleys and extend them. 3 parts. And he had to weld extensions on it so he can get him back and pull this pulley off. So that was all done. It was 2 days down there. The mechanic is very good. He's an older fella. But he only works in the morning. He works from like 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock and that's it for the day. But the car was inside. Don't have to worry about nobody stealing it or taking parts off it. He works very clean. And he does a good job. But it was an $800 job. I knew it was going to be that much. It was like 4.5 hour job. But he had a lift. And he did the job. I wanted to do it to be on the safe side. I don't feel like driving down a highway on a long trip and having something go bad. And then I don't have to get the car towed all the way to him or have somebody else do it. But there's no leaks in the car. No oil leaks or nothing. But I wanted to get the damper changed. It was $200 for the parts. The balancer, the bolt, and the seal. The oil seal that goes in back of it. But he had a pretty hard time trying to get it off. So you got to disconnect the all the belts and then try to pull it out. But I seen videos of people doing it on a jack stand. Jack the car up on jack stands and do it from underneath and pull that all off. That would have been very hard for me to do that at this time after my health issues. But other than that, I can do all the rest on the car. You know, if I have to change the water pump and stuff like that. The brakes I did. But this was a big job and I let him do it. Let him make some money. And I'm on a safe side that I don't have to worry about breaking down. So I want to show you the old balancer. This is the old balancer. Now what happens is this rubber separates. It's flush here and then it sticks up. And I put a piece of chalk on this. You're supposed to put a white line of chalk on here and run the car and see if it moves. If it shifts, the line shifts, then you know the thing is bad. Well, this already shifted a little bit from here to here. But when I looked at it, it looked like it was separating here. See where this space is? And this is tighter. And this looks separated. Here, the rubber and the metal. But he says, when I told him about that, he says the back, you can't see the back when it's on the car. This is the back. This is all coming up. You got flat spots and then you got bumps on this. So this was working its way out, this gasket, this rubber piece. So this was going to go. So eventually it would have went and did damage. So I got it replaced, and they put, you're supposed to get a new seal for it. This is the old seal, but you can see it's dry. It's not really flexible, so it's really dried out. When these go and dry rot, you get an oil leak now in back of it. Then you got to pull the damper off to change an oil seal. I got the seal, and this is the bolt, the old bolt. It really ain't too bad, but the Loctite on here, this is factory Loctite. And to get these off, I've seen people heat the bolt to melt this Loctite to get the bolt out. It's a 200-pound pressure on this. So the torque specs, to tighten this down, is 200 pounds. My torque wrench only goes up to 100 pounds. So you have to torque this down to 200 pounds. So I got a bolt. The bolt was only $7. And the balancer was $147 plus tax. And the seal was like 30 bucks they charged. I seen a couple for $15. But the guy charged me $29 for the seal. It lists for $38. So I did get a discount on these parts. But they don't make the AC Delco balancers no more. They say don't use a stock balancer. They're going with these aftermarket things for like $200, $300. But I got the regular balancer with a different company. And if this lasted 20 years with 50,000 miles, so I'm not really going to put all that mileage on this car anyway. Another 20 years if I'm still here. So I got it done. Saved myself some headaches. Don't have to worry about it. Car runs real good now. And I don't have to worry about this breaking or flying off. But overall, this car, what I paid for it, I put $2,000 into it already with the brakes and the balancer changing. The tires look okay. Maybe I'll put new tires on it next year or the year after. But the price of the new Corvettes, forget it. You can't afford that. And this car is in very good shape. I showed the other videos with it. So I got the balancer changed just to have peace of mind with the car.